Hello, warriors. Welcome to the You Movement. I am B. I've had a good number of people reach out with similar kind of themed questions as of late, so I thought I would hop on to address that because they all have one commonality, which is loss. And loss of people, loss of identity associated with people, and the grieving process, the amount of grief that one goes through on this healing path, awakening journey, twin flame awakening, kundalini awakening, whatever kind of awakening you're having. So on my awakening path, there has been a tremendous amount of loss. So I understand from multiple perspectives all the different types of loss that you may experience on this path. From people actually dying, to people leaving and going separate ways, and some of those people may be what you defined as your people, your closest people, as well as larger groups of people en masse that leave. And the reason for that one may be because when you make lifestyle choices that shift dramatically, for example, quitting alcohol, you're not just quitting a substance, you're quitting a way of being, you're quitting a social activity, you're quitting something that brings you to places and amongst people that no longer resonate with you. So when people are quitting substances that are socially motivated, there is a huge element of loss. You're losing your old identity, which is could have been the party girl or the social butterfly or one of these types of archetypes that were at play. Or you're also losing like a time, how you filled time. So it's Friday night, it's 6 o'clock. Usually you've gone every Friday to a certain place. And so now you're losing that place because putting yourself back into the environment of the activity that you're trying to quit is counterintuitive to your healing. It's going to make it a lot more difficult to be constantly inundated with the same environment. And I don't know if you've ever been in the situation where you've been the sober person surrounded by drunk people. It doesn't feel the same. It doesn't vibe the same at all. It is not as an enjoyable an experience. So we pull ourselves out of that place, and pulling ourselves out of that place means we lose all of those people that were in that place. So there's a lot of elements at loss at play when we go through a shift and decide that, okay, we're no longer that person, that identity no longer resonates with us, and now I'm mourning the loss of that person that I once was. In my case, I would have considered myself a party girl for a number of years in my 20s and early 30s, and had to go through that's not who I am anymore. Well, now who am I? And now what do I do with my time? And now what do I do in regards to social contacts? So there's a space in between what was and what is going to be that is isolating, and that time is meant to help you process through the grief that you're experiencing, because this is like an ambiguous grief where it's not as dramatic as perhaps a death, which is obvious that there's all of a sudden an absence. This is an absence of who you once were, an absence of who you used to hang out with, and an absence of where you used to go. So those types of grief need to be processed equally, and give yourself time, caring, compassion, understanding to sit in that energy of whatever phase and stage you're at on the grieving process. So that you can help transition yourself from one way of being into a new way of being. There's also a lot of elements of understanding, and there's like a back and forth kind of energy that happens when you come to the new realization. This isn't for me, whatever this is, this marriage, this job, this situation. It takes a little bit of time, because the mind, or soul, more to the point, the soul lets mind know this isn't right for you, and ego will battle a little bit, and say back and forth, yeah but, there'll be a lot of yabbits. And the more we sit in the energy and we more feel it, it's almost like the grief cycle begins before there is an actual split. And so you need to come to a place of acceptance. So grieving actually starts, I call it like kind of pre-grief, where in your heart that this isn't resonating with you anymore, that there is a certain degree of cognitive dissonance that's you're currently in, and debating back and forth, can I stay, should I go? It's like that Clash, the song by the Clash, should I stay or should I go? Maybe somebody needs to go listen to that song. And process through that pre-grief cycle of coming to that place where, yes, I'm heading towards a change and a shift in trajectory, and that's going to mean that I'm going to lose this person. And it's like foresight, almost premonition, that you can see that this is not taking me where I need to go, where my soul wants me to go, and it's time to let it go. And in the process before letting it go, there is this pre-grief cycle that is difficult to navigate. So give yourself time. There's no pressure. Soul has things divinely orchestrated in divine time, that things will happen when they're meant to happen. And sometimes it's a slow process to extricate yourself from a situation that it isn't working for you. You feel free to check out my playlist, Trauma Bonds, because extricating yourself from those types of situations are even more difficult, because there is so much cognitive dissonance that's at play. And, part of your mind is like, but I want to stay, but I want to make it work, but I've put in so much time, but I've, tried so hard. And, eventually, you come to the realization it's never going to change. It's not ever going to change, and I have to escape now and save what I can. It kind of reminds me, trauma bonds kind of remind me of those scenes in the movies where you have two people mountain climbing on a steep slope, and one falls and is held tethered to the other one who's desperately trying to keep climbing the mountain, and you've got dead weight, and that it's only a matter of time before they're going to take you down. And it's not you have a choice to make, and it's a very difficult choice, where you've got to cut the cord. You got literally cut the cord, cut the rope, and let that dead weight go that you're trying very hard, desperately, to carry the two of you up the mountain. And it's a very difficult process, and there's a lot of emotions that need to be processed with kindness, with care, with compassion, with understanding. That cutting cords it is not always an easy process to do. So there are excellent meditations that you can do available on YouTube that are for cutting cords, and I highly recommend that you do that, whether you're in that pre-stage of trying to come to the place where you're accepting that something needs to be let go, or that post stage of, I have changed and altered my behavior, I've turned a corner, and now I need to let more things go. Because on this awakening path, there is a constant process of letting go and surrendering up coping mechanisms, surrendering up that wishing it was something different than it was. And I think that's the hook that keeps a lot of people hooked on to situations is, if I just hold on a little bit longer, maybe it'll change. And if I just try just that little bit more, maybe it'll change. And that's the hook that keeps you cycling through that karmic loop that is a very difficult loop to eventually cut free from. So what we need to do is sit in meditation, sit in ponderance, do some journal work, talk to a trusted friend or a counselor to help you process through that. Listen, I think I need to make some drastic shifts in my life, whether that be changing behaviors like quitting alcohol, which is going to make ripple effects out into every other area of your life, or I think I need to get out of this situation that I'm in, and maybe I'm working at a job that doesn't satisfy me, and I'm really in that in-between place of struggling in cognitive dissonance, and I'm not sure how to navigate that. How do I shift that? Because when you leave a workplace, you're going to be leaving a lot of workmates as well, so there's going to be more of an aspect of loss. And if you're leaving a career and switching into a completely different identity in regards to, listen, I've been a lawyer and now I'm taking up singing. I don't know, maybe that's what you've decided your soul is calling you to do. Then you have to grieve the loss of the identity of the person that you once were, and the style of life perhaps that you were living for a period of time, and those comforts that were afforded you by that certain type of job, or as I said, a relationship. A lot of people have reached out to me and I don't know, I feel like I need to leave this relationship. But I'm not entirely sure. How do I do that? And so that pre-cycle of grieving, I tried. I wanted it to be different than it was. It wasn't different than it was. Now I'm in acceptance. I'm accepting it is what it is. And now I can start to make action steps towards finding ways to escape, to get out, to change, to shift. And so that may look like, okay, if I'm going to make this decision, I'm going to have to get myself healthier. So one thing affects another thing, affects another thing. Nothing is done in a vacuum. So that may, for me, escaping from a bad marriage required me to get healthier. It required me to do a lot of my own healing work so that I could be strong enough physically, mentally, and emotionally to make these decisions. And then even still, when you make these decisions, there's going to be a process afterwards of grief. And so every decision that you make on your healing path, no matter how small you think it is going to have rippling effects. Even giving up sugar is going to alter dramatically your way of being out there in the world. You won't be able to go to restaurants necessarily that you used to go to with people. It's going to shift this. So there's a chain reaction that occurs on the healing path when you make a decision to let go. And whether you are coming from it wherever you are in your journey right now, I think I need to let go. I'm at the place where I'm letting go. I just let go. All of those is a process that's going to involve some grief work, and whether that be obvious grief to other people or ambiguous grief of, why are you grieving that job? You're miserable there. Well, there were things there that I did like at that job. There was some security that I liked at that job. There was, nothing is 100% horrible all of the time. Most things that don't resonate with you anymore are there's a slow drop and a slow shift. It's not like all of a sudden, often, you just wake up one day and you're a completely different person. No, you've been pondering it and thinking about it and stressing over it for a long period of time. Sometimes a lot of anxiety is involved, a lot of PTSD is involved, a lot of other codependencies or things are at play. So when you're cutting a cord, there's many other cords that need to be addressed and dealt with and healed. So if you need some help with where you are at on your loss and grief cycle through this awakening process, feel free to reach out to me and we can book a one-on-one if that's something that you feel like you need. All of my services are donation based, or we can set up see what the cards have to say about your situation. They can be very insightful. And again, the way to do both of those things is through the description below. Send me off an email. Let me know what service that you're looking for, and we can set up something for you to help assist you in clearing the cognitive dissonance, coming to a decision of acceptance of your trajectory forward, and then helping you process through the grief. And there is a lot of grief on this healing cycle. So being super, super gentle to yourself and allowing, as you're in the observer and noticing, oh, okay, I am grieving today. I'm going to be a little bit more kind to myself today. I'm going to go a little bit slower today. I'm going to put on some soothing music, maybe take a nice relaxing salt bath, go for a walk, sit by a tree, any of these kinds of activities that are going to help soothe you in the times of transitions, major transitions that you have that come along this awakening path. And again, I thank you very much for all the likes, the shares, and the subscriptions that I get. Thank you very, very, very much for that. I greatly appreciate it. I'm still transitioning through discovering a whole new way of being myself on this path, and I'm so incredibly grateful for what comes after the losses and after the grief is meeting new people. And I've been blessed by all of you that have come in, that support me, that find that the information that I'm providing for you helps inspire you and helps you resonates and gives you some tricks, tools, and strategies to help you on your way. Hearing that, hearing those kinds of feedbacks really has helped me dramatically deal with my own losses. So understand that where there are losses, new will eventually come in, and I'm beyond grateful for that. So thank you, and thank you for all of the support, and let me support you in any way that I can. That said, have a good day, and peace out.